The thing like rotated around and was no longer beneath my shoe anymore. It was just sort of dangling off the side.
Were you able to finish the dance?
Oh yeah, we finished the dance. The show must go on, right?
That is cool. Hi, I'm Reba Hervis, Artistic Director at Overshadowed Theatrical Productions. Welcome to this week's episode From the Wings, where sitting in the hot seat next to me is one of our favorite dancers, actors, singers, Andrew Dille. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, it's so fun. Thanks for having me.
We are going to talk a little bit about tap dancing and giving you guys hints, tips, in case you've never tap danced before or if you want to be a better tap dancer. But of course, I cannot do that without learning a little bit about you first.
I actually started dancing first. Like ever since I was like a toddler, people would turn on music and I would do my little groove, you know. My parents and like my relatives, they loved to just sit me down, start some music and watch. They were like, this is better than television. Like we can just watch them dance. And then when I turned 7, I started doing Irish dance. It was actually the first.
Is that like river dance?
Yes, exactly. Where, you know, you've got your arms at your sides and your feet are doing whatever they're doing.
You're going to have to do that for us sometime because I've never seen you. Do you still do it?
No. But that was the first thing that I ever did that was ever like performing arts. And then I went from Irish dance into tap dancing, actually. And then started theater, and it sort of exploded from there because there's a lot of dancing in musical theater.
Always.
So,
and really, there are not that many boys who can do it well, or males that can do that well.
That's true.
You became a hot commodity.
Yeah. I mean, growing up and taking dance classes, it was usually like me and my brother were like the only guys in the class, which was pretty different. But I mean, it was fun. It was fun to learn something that not a lot of people get to learn, especially not a lot of guys learn tap dancing. So I feel like it's sort of like a lost art form. You don't see it around as often as maybe it used to be.
If you could give 5 tips to dancers, tap dancers, what would they be?
Yeah, so tip number 1, this is like the secret to learning tap dancing. And like it seems so simple, but like fake it until you make it.
Oh.
It's, controversial, I know, but let me explain. So, I mean, when you start out, you're not going to feel good about what you're doing. You're like, how do I make these sounds with these shoes? I don't know. I'm just sort of kicking my feet how they're supposed to go, and I'm not making the sounds. The best way to get better is just to repeat the movements.
Okay.
Repeat them. Repetition is the best thing for learning a tap move or learning a tap combination of moves.
Okay.
And so eventually, like the first few days, you're gonna miss most of the sounds. But like day 2, day 3, you're gonna get half the sounds. And then like
that's fast.
Yes. And then like a week or 2 later, you're gonna get most of the sounds most of the time. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tip
Number 2, bend your knees. Yes.
Bend your knees.
I see this in a lot of...
As opposed to river dance.
Yes.
Or do they still bend their knees?
They have to bend their knees sometimes.
Okay.
But I see this a lot in beginners who are just starting out with tap. They keep their knees locked the whole time. They think like the rigidity is going to help them get all the sounds in. It's actually the opposite. You need to bend your knees. You need to sort of relax your knees and your ankles, and it allows you more freedom to get all of the sounds in with your tap shoes.
I love that.
Yeah, it actually makes it easier. It's a little counterintuitive.
How do you, like, do you have to like almost tell yourself?
Yes, at first you have to tell yourself like, just bend your knees, just do it. I know it feels scary, you know, because you're like, how is this going to help if I'm sort of squatting here? And it does feel weird at first. I mean, you're picking up a new skill, but like, trust me, down the line, bent knees, loose ankles, it's going to help you so much with making all the sounds.
Okay, I love it. Mm-hmm. Tip 3.
Tip number 3, I would say for this one, pay attention to what the rest of your body is doing.
Oh.
Yes, because tap dancing, you can get into the weeds about what your feet are doing the entire time.
Okay.
And sometimes you'll learn an entire dance, and you don't know what your arms are doing for the entire dance. And so what happens is when you learn all the tap moves, your arms make up choreography of their own sometimes. And so you'll realize, or someone will have to point out to you because you don't even realize, your arms are flailing at this one point, or they're just like at your sides like boards, and maybe they're not supposed to be like that the whole time. Maybe the choreographer wants you all to just hold your arms like this for most parts, or they want them extended all the way at this other point. So definitely pay attention to those things. I know the tap dancing itself can be the scariest part, right?
Right.
But don't forget about the other details.
So do you do that at the same time that you're learning the step?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should also, if the choreographer doesn't say, you should say, what is happening here?
Exactly.
Tip number 4.
So you have 2 parts of your shoes. You have the heel plate, and then you have the toe plate.
And there's tap on both.
Yes.
Right?
Stay up on the front. So you want to stay up off your heels a little bit when you're tap dancing.
Are there steps that you go down on your heel?
I mean, you can't stay up on your toes the whole time, but for most steps you want to.
You just do it on your...
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, there will be moves where you have to dig your heel into the floor. There will be moves where the choreographer specifically wants your entire shoe to stomp on the ground. But most of the time when you're doing quick moves like kicks, shuffles, buffaloes, you want to stay up on your toes because it's going to give you some bounciness. And there's actually quite a bit of bounciness that you need in tap dancing.
Is that what helps make the sound?
Yeah, it sort of helps make the sound. The thing it helps most with is shifting weight between your feet.
Okay.
If you're landing full foot on the ground every time you shift your weight, it's going to sound heavier. It's going to feel harder. But if you're up on your toes, it gives you a little bit of spring to shift your weight back and forth.
Okay.
And with fast tap dancing or certain moves, you have to shift back and forth your weight between your left and right feet quite a lot. And so staying up is going to give you that bounciness that you need.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. And the last and final tip.
Tip number 5 is invest in good tap shoes.
Oh,
yes.
That sounds like an important one.
Yes, it's a very important one.
It's like when you're a runner, you have to have good running shoes.
Yes, exactly. You got to bring the right gear to the rodeo.
Okay.
So definitely invest in a pair that are going to last you longer than a couple months. Because
okay, so do the taps wear out?
They can. My first pair of tap shoes fell apart on me mid-performance. It was a tap recital, and they'd started to look a little worse for wear before then. But then on the stage, live audience in front of us, the front plate, like one of the screws.
So when you did a kick step.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, just 2 of the screws out of 3 came loose. So the thing like rotated around and was no longer beneath my shoe anymore. It was just sort of dangling off the side.
Were you able to finish the dance?
Oh, yeah. We finished the dance. The show must go on, right?
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we have now asked Andrew if he'll go into our hair and makeup room, which is our private dance studio, and give us a little demonstration of how to do a couple of tap steps. So, Andrew, will you join us?
Of course.
All right.
Let's get started.
See you in there. All right. We have now entered the hair and makeup room. We would normally do it on the stage, but they're building the set for the play that goes wrong, and there's too much sawdust. So when we walked in, Andrew actually said, this is not the right kind of floor. What is the perfect floor?
I mean, it would be stage material, so usually wood. Hardwood, stuff like that. Tile is a little slippery, and so there is a little bit more of a risk when you're in tap shoes on tile of slipping. So definitely always be aware of where you're dancing. I know we're on tile right now.
I'm like walking down the hall. Like, I have to tell you, I was not planning on being part of this segment. I was going to be like, oh, Andrew, it's all you. And I was going to sit and watch. And Rebecca said, oh, no, you don't get to do that. And so we went and put on tap shoes. And I keep telling Andrew, I'm not going to fall, right? I'm not going to fall. So we're going to see.
Yeah. I'm going to teach some moves that pretty much every other move is built off of. So these are like the basics if you're just starting out. So this is called a brush. It's where you take your foot, you're making a sound with this part of the tap shoe, and it's on the floor as you're going to just like extend your knee, and you're going to strike the floor once as you move out. It's called a brush. Like that. Yes. There you go. So brush. Yes. And then... I've heard this one called spank before. Your foot is out, and now you're going to bend your knee, bring it back in. The same part of your shoe is going to make the sound, and it's going to strike the floor as you bring it back in. Like that. Yeah. If you put a brush with a spank together, So you do brush, spank. That's called a shuffle. So,
That's a shuffle?
yes, that's a shuffle. Way to go. We're halfway there. So, and then the other basic one is called a flap. This one combines two moves. So you do a brush, and then you step on it. So you're just like putting your weight. Yes, exactly. Just like that. Usually flaps are done many in a row.
Fast, too.
Pretty fast, and it looks like you're running. And this one, it is important to have your knees bent, to have your heels a little bit lifted off the floor so that you can actually do the flaps. I won't make you do them, but I can demonstrate. Here we go. I'm going to teach like one or two more. So this next one is called a buffalo. So this one, you're doing a shuffle. So you're doing a shuffle to the side, and you're just combining it with a hop onto your other foot. So you hop first, hop, shuffle, and then you step back on this one.
That sounds like a lot.
So 4 sounds. Yes, perfect. Well done. So you hop, shuffle, and step back. So this last one, this one incorporates some heel sounds.
Okay.
This one's called a paradiddle. 4 sounds. You start by just striking your heel. So that's one. Number 2 is a spank. So you drag back like that. Yep. The third sound is just placing your toe back on the floor. And the fourth sound is placing your heel back on the floor. Yes. So
okay, so
paradiddle.
It was
4 sounds.
I don't remember what they were. So bum. No, this way. Back.
Heel.
Okay.
Spank,
here.
Place your toe down. Place your heel down.
Heel.
Mm-hmm. Spank. Yep. Toe.
Oh, toe. Heel.
And heel. And if you put them all together really fast, it sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm afraid I'm going to fall off of my left foot.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
I will continue to practice.
And then you can string a bunch of paradiddles together really quickly, and you get a cool, like, sort of trilling effect.
That is super cool.
So normal.
Thank you, Andrew, so much for being here. It's been so much fun.
Of course.
Until next time, this is just me.
And me.
Talking to you from the wings. Hi. Do I say my name or I?
I'm Reba Hervis.
Do I say my name?
Hi, Reba Hervis. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
I'm Reba Hervis. Yeah, every time.
For 4 years.
For like 120 episodes.
Yeah. Hi. Are you sure I didn't say my name is? It just feels really funny. Okay.
That's weird to say that, though.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Reba Hervis. Ew. Hi, I'm Reba
Okay.
Hervis.
All right.
Yes.
I'm ready.